God. All there is. No more doubt or confusion. I release pain of illusion. Yes, there's only one solution. Yeah, yeah. What I found is oh so simple. Deeper love in a temple, and I found it in the stillness of my soul. 'Cause all there is God. Oh, yeah. All there is God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All there is God. Let me hear your voice. All there is God. Now I'm resting in the knowing that my good is overflowing, and my faith is ever growing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, take me back to the beginning. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Make me stronger, make me willing. Yeah. All there is God. Oh, yeah. All there is God. Oh, everywhere you turn. All there is God.
All there is love.
All there is love.
All there is peace.
All there is peace. Past all understanding.
All there is truth.
All there is truth.
All there is God.
All there is God.
All there is God.
All there
All there is God. God is all there is.
all there is. Now I'm resting in the knowing that my good is overflowing, and my faith is ever growing. Yeah, yeah. Take me back to the beginning. Feel my spirit moving in me. Make me stronger, make me willing. Yeah. All there is God. All there is God, yeah. All there is God. Oh, God, everywhere you turn. All there is
How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? Given the chance, I'm gonna tell you now. How many ways can I give thanks for the blessings I have known? I've got a list, and I will tell you how. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. Grateful for this universe, for the better and the worse. Grateful that this world keeps spinning round. Grateful for my memories, grateful for my hopes and dreams, grateful for the blessings I have found. Give praises for all the gifts I have. Given the chance, I'm gonna shout out loud. Grateful for each breath awake, grateful for each step I take, grateful that I'm here to play my part. Grateful for the morning sun, grateful when the day is done, grateful that I have you in my heart. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful. How many ways can I be grateful? How many ways? I'm grateful now.
Here we go. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day, a brand new day, a sunny day. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Oh yeah. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. But that's okay, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, don't worry. It's not the end. It's not the end. If you don't like the government, it's alright. It's not the end. It's not the end. This is the end.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe that there are many paths to one divinity. So what does that mean to you sitting at the house, watching on YouTube or on Facebook? We have 10 different faith speakers, 10 different musical artists, And we give each of those groups a single word topic at the beginning of a series. They go home and create 2 music videos in the case of the musicians, a talk in the case of the speakers. On the aforementioned topic, we are now dipping into respect, finishing up on freedom. Will be our last talk for freedom this week. And if you want to be a part of this craziness, you can join us at www.peopleofdiversity.org and hit the donate button, not the one at the top,
The one in the middle.
the one in the middle. And that will bring you to a place where you can tithe, donate, give an offering, whether that be a consistent weekly, monthly kind of thing, or just a one-time dance, and however you want to play is how you play.
Good.
Yep.
Last week we had a talk on freedom from Reverend Lydia Junis. It was really good. And her musical guest was our new person, Justin Turk. And he even wrote a song specifically for the service on freedom. It was great.
Yes, it was. It was very good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Today we have Rabbi Pat Hickman. And her musical guest is Victor Morgado. And this will be as Scott already said, this will be our last installment on freedom. Next week we start our new 10-week session on our topic is going to be respect. And I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what our speakers come up with on that one. So, past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook group, Facebook page. The immediate past service is pinned on the top of the page, so it's real easy to get to that. Otherwise, you need to go into the video section or the live section and find those. We are furiously working on our YouTube page. It is really coming together and should be up for searching on Faith Perspective or Speaker very soon, and we will be having a coming out party for that. So, following the morning service from 11:45 till 12:15, we do a live Zoom deep dive, and sometimes the speaker can join us and sometimes they can't, but we get together and talk about the message and check in with each other. It's a lot of fun, and we end it right at 12:15 so as not to take up more time than we say we're going to. And then on Sunday evening at 5:45 we rebroadcast the Sunday morning service on Facebook Live. Well, it's not live like the deep dive, but it's we get in there in the chat room and talk back and forth and
Shoot hearts.
shoot hearts, yeah. And it's a really nice opportunity to either see the talk again, enjoy the whole service again, or to send someone back that might have had a church service they went to in the morning, or if they were at the beach or whatever.
The other church.
Or climbing in the mountains, to come in the evening and watch that service. It's really good. So, is that it? You can get Facebook notifications about the services by going to the Facebook page, People of Diversity Facebook page or group, ask to join, and you will get, on Sunday mornings, you will get a little notification that you can just push the button, and it makes it real easy to join. So let's do that. Each week we bless a country, and if you have facts, pictures, stories, rumors, whatever, about the country that we're blessing next week, send them to the email address below. Our country next week is Ghana, G-H-A-N-A, Ghana. So our country this week is Germany. Germany lies in Western Europe. It's about the size of Texas and has 84 million people.
That's a lot of folks.
That's a lot of folks in the size of Texas, yes. 38% of the population has no religious affiliation. 29% is Roman Catholic, and 27% is Protestant. So that's interesting. More people with no religious affiliation than other religions. Germany is known for Oktoberfest. It began as a 5-day wedding celebration for a crown prince and a princess on October 12th, 1810. And every year they celebrated their anniversary, and the event just continued to grow. Now there are multiple parades, amusement rides, games, dancing. About 2 million gallons of beer are consumed, and more than 6 million people attend. And there's October shoot-offs here all over the place.
I grew up going to Oktoberfest most of my life.
Speaking of 2 million gallons of beer, the legal drinking age for beer and wine in Germany is 16, and for other alcohol is 18. I thought that was interesting. In Germany, there are over 1,000 varieties of sausages, 300 kinds of bread, and 1,200 other kinds of baked goods. So, really fattening.
And yummy.
And yummy. Germany was the first country in the world to adopt daylight savings time, and they did that in 1916. The Cologne Cathedral is the largest church in the world. Construction began in 1248 and didn't finish until 1880. That's a long time. Germany has been at peace since the end of World War II, but its bomb squad is one of the most active in the world. Every year since World War II, over 2,000 tons of unexploded bombs are discovered. Any new construction projects must first complete surveys to ensure that the ground is clear before digging. And our last fact, I just found this to be really interesting. In Germany, it is considered a basic human instinct to do whatever you can do to be free. So if you attempt to escape from prison and get caught, you won't receive any additional punishment as long as you don't damage any property or hurt anyone. So that's a basic human instinct to be free, so they don't punish you for trying to get out. And I just thought that was really interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? So, let's hold the people of Germany in our hearts, knowing they want the same things in their lives that we want in ours. They want to be free. And they want to be happy, safe. They want to enjoy their lives. And we see them doing all of these things, and we say these words together. May peace prevail in Germany. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me. Thank you. Okay, sir.
All right, Brother Victor. Of all of the people that I'm connected with today, I've known Victor the longest. Right? So we met way back in North York, Toronto at the Keg, when we both had full heads of hair, and it was a fully and completely different life. And you're going to love him. This is what he does as his groove in life for now. So he's active with his guitar constantly in the Toronto scene. And we're looking forward to the pieces that he's dropped in for us. And Rabbi Pat Hickman is they're just going to be a great pair. We both really enjoy how Rabbi Pat shares and how much we learn about Judaism. And I grew up immersed in and around it in the Toronto scene. So I've just learned so much from her over the last couple of years. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful service. And without further ado, we'll see you on the other side.
Bus a flight in Baton Rouge, headed for the trains, feeling nearly faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed the diesel down just before it rained, took us all the way to New Orleans. I took my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana, was blowing sad while Bobby sang the blues. With the windshield wipers slapping time and Bobby clapping hands, we finally sang up every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, nothing going with nothing but it's free. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me, good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. From the coal mines of Kentucky to California sun, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul, standing right beside me through everything I'd done. And every night she kept me from the cold. Somewhere near Salinas, Lord, I let her slip away. She was looking for the home I hope she'll find. I'd trade all my tomorrows for a single yesterday, holding Bobby's body close to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, nothing ain't with nothing but it's free. Feeling good was easy, Lord, when Bobby sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me, good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. Da 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 da, my Bobby McGee. Da 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 ba ba da ba da ba da 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 da, my Bobby McGee. Da 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 ba 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 da ba da 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 da. Da 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 da, my Bobby McGee. Da 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 ba 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 da ba da 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 da. Da 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 da, my Bobby McGee. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? And how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? And how many times must a cannonballs fly for the forever band? The answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Oh, how many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? Yes, and how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? And how many times can a man turn his head, pretending he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many years can one man have before he can hear people cry? And how many deaths will it take till he knows too many people have died? The answer, my friend, blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Oppressed so hard they could not stand, let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Oh, let my people go. Shalom, chaverim. Hello, friends. The story of the Exodus from Egypt, the freeing of a people subjugated in slavery for 400 years, is the defining story of the Jewish people. The story is told and retold every year at our holiday called Pesach, Passover. It reminds us and our children and all people of this ancient story, which today is still a modern story of slavery that continues to afflict our world. Our Black brothers and sisters in this country have their slavery story as well. That has certainly defined them for hundreds of years. The peoples throughout the world who are still confined with loss of freedom hauntingly call out a message to all of us. We sing, "Let my people go," and let us reflect on the meaning in Judaism to that very fragile concept of freedom. First of all, there is individual freedom and there is collective freedom. For an individual, a slave set free gets to do whatever they want. No one orders them about, no one tells them to build the pyramids, and he can do whatever he or she likes. So in a society in which everyone can do basically what they like, well, is that a free society? No, it's a balagan. It's a mess. Can you imagine if there were no speed limits telling us how fast we should go, no red or green lights? Or, God forbid, the serious crimes of rape, theft, murder. What allows us to have a free society? Well, it's the laws. According to the Jewish people, we sing our joy for freedom from slavery. But what about freedom to? To have a free society, there has to be some basic order. Jewish thought believed 3,500 years ago, before Thomas Jefferson, that every human being is created in the image of God, B'Tselem Elohim, and has inalienable rights and freedoms. But in Judaism, freedom came to believe, since the Exodus, that we were all in this together, and we truly are. I can't be free if my neighbor is not. Judaism understood that true freedom is not the absence of bondage, but the presence of justice and purpose. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the great prophets of our times, paraphrased the Hebrew prophets when he wrote that we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Judaism realized that freedom without responsibility means slavery to one's basest impulses. When Moses confronts Pharaoh in God's name, he doesn't just say, "Let my people go." He also says, "so that they may serve me." In other words, freedom has a goal, a higher purpose than just being able to do what we please. That higher purpose is what we can do for others, the responsibility that we take for our society as a whole. On Passover, we are set free. We then march to Mount Sinai and receive the law. And with the law that not only illuminated the Ten Commandments, but required of us to look at every part of our lives. Laws to help us to live a life filled with compassion, kindness, justice, strength. These laws formed a society that withstood the ravages of the centuries, from the destruction of the ancient temple when the Jewish people were dispersed throughout the world, to being then thrown out of countless countries, and terrible pogroms, terrible times when people would raid the Jewish villages and just kill the innocents. The Holocaust. And today, when anti-Semitism has reared its ugly head once again, even in our own beloved country. I know this sounds like an oxymoron, but there is such a thing as negative liberty and positive liberty. Now, I didn't come up with that idea, but I do think there's a lot to it. According to the famous analysis of Isaiah Berlin, who was a Russian-British philosopher who lived in the 20th century, his philosophy included the concept of two kinds of liberty. Negative liberty is defined as freedom from, the freedom from restraint on one's actions, enshrined in such concepts as human and civil rights. And positive liberty is defined as freedom to, the freedom to pursue a good life personally and communally, expressed in such rights as the right to vote, the right to organize, the right to education, and the right to pursue economic stability. Interesting, isn't it? While negative liberty, the exodus from Egypt, is essentially concerned with the absence of restraint, the slaves were let go, positive liberty became the revelation at Mount Sinai. Paradoxically, often requires restraint for it to be realized. Just as the laws were engraved on tablets of stone, they came to be engraved in our hearts. When we left Egypt, we became physically free. And as we journeyed to Mount Sinai, we became spiritually free in order to receive the gift of Torah. It is the journey, after all, isn't it? Birth is a beginning and death a destination, and life is a journey, as we say. It is a journey to freedom. Freedom of the soul. Freedom of our spirits. In Judaism, there is a practice that can help an individual to reach that spiritual freedom. It is called counting the Omer. It is practiced during the period between Passover and the holiday of Shavuot. Shavuot is a Jewish harvest festival that celebrates the giving of the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. The period of counting the Omer marks the beginning of the barley harvest. In ancient times, an Omer, which literally means a sheaf of barley, was brought to the ancient temple. In Jerusalem, it was brought as a way of thanking God for the harvest. Our ancient temple no longer stands, so our rabbis created this ritual that's used for deep reflection as we walk the old desert path from slavery to freedom. We march out of Egypt and we arrive at Mount Sinai, where we enter into a holy covenant with God. We must prepare ourselves. We must find ways to purify ourselves as the ancients of old would do before approaching the Holy One and receiving the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai. This is our time to leave the restraints of slavery and embrace what it feels like to be a free people. And how do we become a free people? By looking deep within, not without, but within, at all of our qualities and doing the spiritual work we need to become whole. It is a time for inner transformation, which will then transform our outer world. Our ancient mystics have devised a method of counting that is based on the tree of life. It is impossible for us to fully know God. However, it is possible to gain an understanding of the aspects of God's nature. Since we are made in the image of God, these aspects are within all of us. The aspects are called sephirot, of which there are 10. 7 of them were chosen for us to explore during this counting of the Omer. Kindness, strength, beauty, perseverance, splendor, foundation, and our reality within the world we live in. They are often described in this way. I'll give you an example of my own reflections on the first day of counting the Omer as I explore the aspect of kindness, which to me is connected in a very significant way to love. On this first day of the Omer, we begin our journey from Egypt to Sinai, trudging through the desert to find the land of our soul. God is with us on our journey. God's loving kindness is never ending. God will never stop loving you. That is the grace that we receive from God. That is the kind of love that we all yearn for, a love that has no conditions. When we realize that love is a gift from God and it can be accessed whenever we need it, our lives are changed. We are never alone. This is the kind of love that allows us to love ourselves, that gives us the grace to be kind to others and to be kind to ourselves. By loving ourselves, we are a vessel for God's love. Can you imagine a world filled with this kind of love, where we are totally supported and we in return love and support others? I'm going to read a special prayer for you now, written by Rabbi Rami Shapiro. And as you listen to it, absorb all of its nuances and all of its healing love. You may even wish to close your eyes and reflect inwardly. It is called an unending love. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are too hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love, embraced, touched, soothed and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. And so, it may be ultimately through the quality of kindness, loving kindness, that we all join together to help free our world from slavery of every kind. Let freedom ring throughout the world. Freedom of thought, freedom of knowledge, freedom from lies, freedom to speak out against injustice, freedom to worship as we choose, freedom from fear, freedom to receive joy, freedom to feel safe, freedom of our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our spirits, freedom in our very souls. As I end my reflections, I may say, as I always do to my congregations, may this be God's will. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Yes, let it be the will of the one being, the wise call by many names. Amen.
Thank you, Victor. Amazing as build. Perfect, my friend. Really, really good to see your face. And Rabbi Hickman, wow, just thank you so much for all that you give and how you give it. And I know that we're in the middle of this Artemis dance, and you've got family that helped with that. So we're putting all that energy out there for the excitement around that as well. And thank you for being a part of this multi-faith project.
I have to say one thing. When we are now supposed to call her Rabbi Emerita Pat Hickman, because she has retired.
Ah.
She has retired from being a full-time rabbi at her synagogue, and we really appreciate that she's still going to continue with the pod. And in fact, she has invited us as the pod to join Interfaith United and be involved with them at a deeper level, which is, you can Google that and find out about them. They have lots of interesting things going on during the year. Their big project that they do every year is United in Thanksgiving, which will be coming up in November. And Rabbi Pat has asked us to be involved in putting that together and actually doing the service. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll keep you abreast as
Yeah.
things come to fruition and we start to market for it. We'll let you know how you can be involved.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Where was I?
Philip.
Mr. Lubo, thank you for all you do, sir. If you have audiovisual needs in the virtual or in real life, connect with Philip, and he and his team will take care of you. What else? Following the morning service from 11:45 to 12:15, we do the deep dive. That's a Zoom event. The link is in the post. And the password is truth if it's needed. I don't think it's even needed
Not
anymore. Yeah. And that's an opportunity to hang out, to visit, and just talk about what we just saw, what we just learned, and kind of connect with each other. Sometimes the speakers get to come and hang out with us. Rabbi Pat hasn't yet, but she doesn't have anything to do anymore, so maybe.
I don't know if I'd say that, but yes, okay.
Well, no class, that's for sure. And then we have an evening service at 5:45. It's the morning broadcast, rebroadcast, and that is also what we pin to the top of the page, so that if you come back to the page or the group through the week, that service will be pinned to the top of the page. You'll be able to access it immediately, and then it goes into the archive. And I think this is that moment I want to say something about the YouTube.
Okay.
It's almost finished. We're clicking in some thumbnails and finishing up the website that kind of brings it all into some connectivity. But what it will give you is the ability to search that YouTube site either by topic or by faith. And you'll do that by accessing different playlists. And we're thinking that's going to be an amazing place for people to do research, to do some of that early exploration, whether it be for school or for learning, or, for me, when I first stepped into recovery, I went around all the different churches and synagogues and asked questions, and it would have been a beautiful place to be able to come to in that beginning of my search and say, oh, I'd like to spend some time learning this. So I think that's going to be an amazing resource. It also premieres on Sunday morning at 10:45 on YouTube, and you can live chat with it in that moment, but only for that part of the service, and then it becomes a recorded piece.
It's at 10:30, not 10:45, 10:30.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because it does the whole piece, yes. So join us on YouTube, join us on Facebook. Know that you can go back to both places and view it over again, and if you wanna send someone back to research, that YouTube channel is almost finished. Next week we begin our new series on respect, and that will be with Swami Dhumavadi and Daniel Capel. So we're looking forward to that. That's all I know.
All right. If you would like to join this effort, go to www.peopleofdiversity.org. Go to the middle of the page, push the donate button, and we just want to take a minute, take a deep breath. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for all of the opportunities that we have, all of the amazing individuals that come together to make this happen, all of the people that watch, Philip and his team particularly, because without them it wouldn't happen. And we just so appreciate the energy that is generated by this whole effort, and we appreciate the tithes and the offerings that keep it going, and we are so grateful when we say amen.
Amen.
Okay, last thing, our energetic healing circle. If you want to just take a deep breath, bring to your mind's eye any person, place, thing, situation, anything that needs a little more love put on it this week, and bring it to your mind's eye and project that into the middle of our circle. We are joining up right now, our energy, and we're going to listen to this last song, and we're going to send love into the middle of that circle and to touch all of those people, places, and things in the middle, and remind you to open up as well, because the energy's coming around, and it'll jump right on you, and it'll be good. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the deep dive, or we will see you on Sunday evening, or we will see you during the week or next week. Have a good one.
Have a great week.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. one power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of